Thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Larkin, and I am joined by the dead man of RWT, Paul Morales. This is the RWT podcast. Daniel Crimmins will be with us shortly. Man, Saturday night's main event just went off the air, and I got to say, I enjoyed it from a stance of we really got to see a lot of great talent breakouts with Sol Ruca beating Bailey, and we got to see Javon Evans and Leon Slater get their shine on with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And Obafemi looked like an absolute fucking beast against Cody Rhodes, which also furthers them in the Drew McIntyre storyline. And of course, we are going to get into John Cena. But Paul, what were your thoughts, man? The time is up and the time is now, man.
It was an interesting night. I mean, that match between Cody Rhodes and Obafemi, man, that was lit. I have to admit, that was one lit ass match. I mean, and Oba went out there and showed that strength that we all fucking love about him. I mean, and we all see it in NXT. If you don't follow in NXT, man, you gotta see that guy. You have to see that guy, go out there and show up and shell out.
Daniel, what were your thoughts on Obafemi and Cody Rhodes, man?
Just when the match is going good,
right?
And of all nights that you could have done this finish, tonight.
Yep.
This is
No. Tell me how you really feel.
That's how you really feel, Dan.
What in the goddamn actual fucking horse shit was that bullshit? The match was fun.
Yes.
It was going good. And you know what? I get it. They're playing safe. They don't want Cody to lose, but they don't want Oba to lose either. What do? Of all the options, you give us this.
Yeah, and they're going to build to Cody and Drew for the Royal Rumble. It's coming.
Who gives a fuck at this point?
I have to say it's very. I do really feel, Dan. I got to say it's very reminiscent of 2015. I had feels of John Cena against NXT champion Kevin Owens at the time. Well, you could have had
Michael.
Yes,
this is 2019 WWE at this point.
I was very reminiscent, and we should have had Oba won. If I'm being completely honest, as soon as he made the entrance and the crowd swayed towards his way, you should have had Oba won. But yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't.
You didn't have him swayed towards anything, and I get it. And I had Denise and Righteous Reg were on their stream. Shout out to Denise. What's up, girl?
What's up, man?
But one thing I had said was, I go, because Cody had cut his ear.
Yes.
And we couldn't figure out where the hell the blood was coming from because it went from like his mouth to his ear and nobody knew where it was at. Then in my mind, I'm like thinking, what if he sent Drew out there because he was bleeding? What if he didn't want any blood or anything like that? I know that accidents happen, but what if he sent Drew out there just to kind of stop the match? And I know it was a stupid thought, but it doesn't make any sense to have him go out there unless it, like Dan said, it furthers the storyline. But nobody really cares about Drew and Cody at this point, and what does Obafemi get out of this aside from his hand raised by Cody, aside from the round of applause from everybody? I think if it would have been a little further in the match, a little further into the match, it might have worked, but that was too early for us. At least you tell me if I'm wrong. If it was a little too early for this, maybe if they were down and out and, they were both like exhausted, then I could have seen the run in, but we didn't get that.
The other issue I had with this, like the whole after the match finish was just awkward as fuck. Like you have them both beating down Drew, and then like you're thinking like, okay, something's gonna happen here. maybe Cody's going to say, no, let's start this back up. And then you have Cody grab both titles, and you're thinking like, oh, maybe this is going to be something. No, he just hands it to Oba. Like, everyone was saying, oh, hey, they put the title back on Oba because they didn't want Cena to beat Ricky.
It still would have served the same. It still would have served the same purpose had it been Ricky Saints out there, and against Cody. It still would have served the same purpose.
I will say it at this point. Obafemi no longer needs to be in NXT.
No, we're at the point.
If there is a time, he should have been up in WWE in the main roster fucking a goddamn month ago.
When he lost it to Ricky Saints, I think he should have been
beyond.
In which case, I don't even like the fact. I don't like the fact that he lost it to Ricky Saints. It should have been Javon Evans, and that's just my opinion, and it's probably yours too. But at the same time, like if you wanted to have Ricky Saints become a heel, you still could have done it with Javon Evans, and it would have made a hell of a lot more sense.
And you had the fact that you have him lose to a DDT.
Yeah, tornado DDT.
DDT has not been a relevant finisher in the past 25 years.
I mean, Eddie Kingston's got that Jake the Snake Roberts DDT now as a finisher in AEW. So, I mean, hey. But no, I'm right there with you. I mean, I look at it from a stance like this. When Ricky turned heel on NXT, you knew from the jump at the start of the show at the end, okay, he's going to get involved, and now that's the new feud with Javon. So now you got Oba is either going to face Miles Bourne, Dion Lennox, Joe Hendry, or Leon Slater at New Year's Evil. And who I think I would like it to be would be Joe Hendry. But he has something going now right now with Dion Lennox. So, I mean, that's something to give Dion Lennox some shine. But I think at the end of the day, too, is where do you go with Oba as a champ? You do Oba and Tony D'Angelo, but you have Tony D'Angelo going over here with Ethan Page. So there's not really a lot left for Oba to do. So I agree with you. I think he should have went to the main roster, and he could have done something more at Ricky. But, yeah, now we got Ricky and Javon in a feud now.
Right. And you had the perfect moment. You know, Javon has the breakout tournament or whatever it was.
The Iron Survivor?
The Iron Survivor, yeah.
You could have had the moment on New Year's Evil where you have him finally winning the big one. And you have that crowning moment where you have Javon finally winning the NXT title.
Right.
But instead, you pull the classic, I'm not going to wait till New Year's Eve. I'm not going to wait till the pay-per-view. I'm not going to wait till WrestleMania. I'm doing it now. When has that ever worked? When?
Look at John Cena when he challenged Randy Orton after he won the Royal Rumble at No Way Out 08. So, I mean, and then just to be in the triple threat at WrestleMania. So that never really works.
Again, things that don't work out, and I think.
Oh, you mean
because here's the way I would have seen. Here's the way I believe it should have happened. Javon should have beat Oba at New Year's Evil, and then Oba come up to the main roster, but at Royal Rumble and appear in the Royal Rumble. And then you could have had him on the main roster and said, hey, look, you know, or have him appear either the week before Royal Rumble and, you know, either on SmackDown or Raw, whichever brand you want to put him on. And then boom, he shows up at the Royal Rumble, or, you know, vice versa, whichever one. But I just think that would have worked a hell of a lot better. You could have had Oba, who looks like a star. You could tell by the way the crowd reacted to him when he came out. As soon as his music hit, you got the reaction from the crowd, and that was probably one of the purest things you want.
Exactly.
Oof. You know, you got that energy from the crowd, and you knew point blank, guess what? This guy is a main roster guy.
Even the promo SmackDown. Good.
To go up your point, when you think of the history, all the people that have gotten over organically, you look at Oba, started off as the unstoppable monster. He's only lost, 2-3 times? Like, he lost to Tony D, lost to Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Now, technically, loses to Cody by DQ.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, he got over organically. There is something about Oba Femi that the dude just has that it factor. When you think of people in NXT right now that have it, Javon Evans has it. Oba Femi has it. I'll even say it. Tony D'Angelo has it. You have people that have it. Tony D'Angelo should not be in NXT right now. Should be main roster. Oba Femi should not be in NXT anymore. The problem is, and was a problem with Triple H in NXT with the women's division. Now it's the men's division's turn. You don't have anybody. Like, you have like believable stars in the main scene. You have Ricky. You have Joe Hendry, who's doing, like the mixed tag thing with Thea Hale.
Yep.
And who else? You have Dion Lennox.
Wow. Well,
they got Miles Moore.
Yeah.
But you have so many talented guys in NXT who should no longer be there. They should be on the main roster. Look at on the main roster of people who are on their way out or are out. Cena out. Brock. The rumors are saying he's going to be out at SummerSlam. Orton, who's probably got another year, maybe 2 at best.
A year or 2, yep.
You have so many people who are on their way out. Rey Mysterio, who is on his way out. You are needing people on the main roster desperately.
AJ Styles.
Oba,
Styles, yep.
AJ, done after this coming year.
But I get your point, because you look at everybody who is down there who could be on the main roster. You just mentioned Oba. I mean, you could even go Ethan Page. You could even go
absolutely.
You could even go Joe Hendry. Look at the reaction he got tonight. That guy is a main roster guy, and I don't care what anybody says. You mentioned Javon Evans. What about the guy on the other? That's his partner, Leon Slater, and TNA X Division champion, came out to a round of applause. People were cheering him, and he's holding 21. That title. He's holding that title as if it's the world title, as if it's the TNA world title, and he is just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I
remember, and I know you both can agree with me.
No, I don't.
You're going to agree with me whether you want to or not.
Don't yell at me. I'm sensitive.
That's what she said.
I hate you.
When you think of the glory days of TNA, and you think of how the X Division title used to be portrayed. Guys like Sabin, guys like Joe, Christopher Dan, people who are the best of the best. Now, to see it like it is on Saturday night's main event, on John Cena's last ever night, Leon Slater, I don't know what his contract status is, but damn, when that dude's contract is up, everybody is going to be wanting him.
I mean,
Tony is going to be wanting him.
Yep. TNA is doing big things right now.
Come to my company. I'll pay you lots of money. Yeah.
I'll pay you. I mean, TNA is doing big things right now. They got the AMC deal coming up. They're doing the NXT TNA invasion, so they're getting a lot of buzz.
Absolutely. And you know what? The more, and Mike, you and I have said this on Uncaged, Cheap Pop number 1, the more competition that is out there, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Leon Slater, he's only, what, like 21, 22?
They're both 21. Him and Javon Evans are both 21.
The fact that Leon Slater is as good as he is, as young as he is, like, this dude could easily be going another 25, 30 years.
Oh, agreed wholeheartedly.
And you know what? You'll love to see it. And the dude's going to be a world champion.
I agree. And I mean, you mentioned someone who's going to be a world champion. I mean, we both all mentioned Joe Hendry. Did y'all enjoy The Miz taking an ass whooping by R-Truth and Joe Hendry?
That was nice.
Ron Cena?
Ron Cena? Yes.
Ron Cena? Yeah. I saw Ron. I didn't see Ron Cena, but I saw Ron Cena.
I thought that was cool how they went to the callback of him taking the number away from R-Truth and switching the balls, if you will, taking Nick Aldis's balls, if you will. That's what she said. But it was
that's
so,
a Mickey That's a Mickey James thing,
sure
man.
Mickey
That's
James
a Mickey
did that.
James thing, man.
That's a Mickey James thing, yes. But no, I thought the whole entire segment was comedic fun, and I really like to see The Miz getting his. And I thought, especially last night with Javon Evans too, as well, was very cool. I do have to also give a shout out to Michael Cole because I thought something that was very nice, and we'll get into the tribute in a little bit. But he gave a nice little shout out to Taz, Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler, and everybody as well. I thought that was very nice. Everybody getting their just due.
JBL, we gave one to JBL, Corey Graves. The one to Taz was very, very surprising. And I know he said that Taz was on the mic with him that first night that John came out to confront Kurt Angle. So yeah, that was probably one of the most beautiful things that we got to see tonight, you know, on this final night of John Cena. And it was genuinely personal for him because he knows he needed to give some love to all those people, especially Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, you know, who are, again, two people, Taz and JR, who aren't with them, who are with the other company, but he gave love to them because he knew for a fact those guys were there before him, and Taz was one of his favorite partners in the beginning of him doing color commentary.
You know, I will make one last comment about Javon Evans. I will make this prediction right here, right now. Javon Evans is the next John Cena.
Damn.
God damn.
That's a bold prediction. Bold prediction.
When you think of guys that can carry the business, that have it, him. There was that interview. I don't know if it was Chris Van Vliet or whoever. I think it was Chris Van Vliet interviewed Swerve.
Yeah.
And Swerve even said, he's better at 21 than I am at 30.
As it should be.
And he is. And I'm not saying he is. I don't mean he is at that point. I'm just saying, like, he is a very, very different character and a very, very. He's naturally gifted for this industry.
Oh yeah, like whether Javon is a WWE lifer or whether he goes to AEW or New Japan or wherever, whatever the case is, I am telling you now, 20 years from now, Javon Evans will be talked about among the greatest. He will main event WrestleManias or Double or Nothings or All In, All Out, Wrestle Kingdoms, wherever. Javon Evans is going to be one of the greatest of all time.
I think he's one of the best underdog baby faces that they have right now, and I definitely agree. I think he's just so likable that he has that star mentality. Yep.
Oh yeah, and you know, he even he had that kind of that vibe that Cena first had. That kind of like the generic gear where you're like, who the hell is this dork?
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch him, like you can't help but like the guy.
Young OG, baby. That boy is bouncy.
The young OG.
I mean, I got to ask y'all. I got to say, him and Leon had a great performance with AJ and Dragon Lee.
Absolutely.
Right team went over. Did y'all enjoy the match? I thought, woo, great showing for the two of them against him.
I love seeing them. I love seeing them in the ring afterwards, after that match. Leon Slater is a fucking beast, is a different level beast. And both him and Javon went out there and cut it in the ring. I mean, the flips and everything were nice, but man, you could tell them as a tag team, they are awesome. They are just awesome as a tag team. And yes, they may be on for different companies, but man, in that ring, they are fucking talented. And, you know, shout out to both of them for doing their damn thing against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, man, because that was a really, really great match. I mean, and I hope AJ's okay, man, because that slip on the fucking ropes was crazy. I didn't think it was going to happen, but man, it was a good recovery that they did.
You know,
Leon going in, pinning him, taking the pin to see if he's okay. You know, are you okay? Yeah, just taking the pin and boom, and then out of it, and then we got the finish. But still, it was a really, really good match for all four of them.
And I kind of want to see a fatal four-way with the four of them all in one match. I need it.
I will say this. I raise you. I look at it like this. I think if TNA wants to have a big match for their AMC debut, I love to see AJ Styles and Leon Slater for the X Division title.
I think that would be remarkable.
Hit me.
I'll do you one better.
Go ahead, Dan.
I will see your AJ versus Leon,
and
I'll raise you. Make it an Ultimate X.
I like that even more. Okay.
Damn.
Hey.
Get Javon Evans in that one.
X. Make it an Ultimate X fatal four-way.
In the 6-sided ring?
Yeah.
AJ, I remember an interview where he said if he ever wrestles again in a 6-sided ring, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, he said that in the Stone Cold podcast. I remember that.
He hates it.
I think a lot of people hated it. It was different, yes. And a lot of people liked it, but when you get into that corner and you're trying to leap off of that corner, you realize the ropes are very, very wide apart. It's not exactly as simple as it is in a squared circle as you know it's referred to in a regular wrestling ring. But man, trying to get up in that corner, I can imagine it being very, very difficult.
Oh my God. And I mean,
I will say that was the one good thing Hulk Hogan did for TNA.
Go back to
again, just for old time's sake, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Well, I will say this. If you want to talk about somebody like you guys are mentioning who are very agile, Sol Ruca put on one of the best performances with Bayley tonight. She was fantastic.
My dad was kind of impressed. I have to admit, my dad is very, very hard to impress when it comes to watching wrestling, because he would always say, "Oh, you know, I already know what's going to happen. I already know it's all predictable. Oh, she has some girl out there on the outside of the ring." That's what he started with. Oh, she has somebody else out there on the outside of the ring. Oh, she's going to interfere, and then that's how she's going to win, and that's how Bayley's going to lose. But that wasn't what happened, you know. Zarya didn't interfere, but it was a good match altogether between her and Bayley. Man, far exceeded my expectations.
Same. I think you save the turn if they do it for New Year's Evil when we get to NXT. But this was nice. I thought the cartwheel DDT was a great spot from Sol Ruca to Bayley. She showed that off, and Bayley gave her that Bayley to belly. I thought the finishing sequence with the soul snatcher and the feet on the ropes after the rose plant, and then she just rolled through and got the surprise victory. And then at the end, everybody, raised each other's hands. That is what it was about. And I think Sol Ruca at such a young age, at the age of 26, only 3 years in the business, has such a long way to go. And she's going to continue to thrive, man. I love me some Sol Ruca. Go ahead, Dan.
I want more. I look at Zarya, I look at all four of them are so incredibly talented. Bayley is so underappreciated. And I'll say it, and I love me some Bayley.
Mm-hmm. As we all do.
Part of me kind of hopes she does, when her contract comes up, that she does go to AEW. I think they maybe would appreciate her a little bit more, because it's clear. Like, the fuck are you doing with Bayley? Like, of the 4 horsewomen of NXT, she was clearly the most talented. I don't care what anybody says.
I mean, here's my thing. If she goes to AEW, okay, you get the Sasha match, then what? That's how I look at it, because Tony will go right to the Mercedes match, and then what?
Tony Storm?
True. Tony Storm, okay, but then what? Outlander.
Mina Shirakawa.
I'm just saying.
Fun. God, the hell's her name?
Which one?
Willow Nightingale would be fun.
Willow Nightingale, okay, yeah, it's very similar. All right.
I view as the AEW version of Bayley.
That would be cool.
I think we have to give Bayley her flowers.
Absolutely.
One of the greats.
What she did this past week in having that seminar for all those indie wrestlers,
mm-hmm.
and who went in there. She had Charlotte. She had
Maddie.
Yeah, she had so many amazing and talented women there. And then of course she had this guy who made an appearance and went in there and gave some pointers to all the women. And it's amazing how Bayley wants to give back to the industry, how much she wants to continue to see it thrive going forward, because she knows she doesn't have very many years left in this industry. She knows that. So she wants to do what Natty is doing and pass that knowledge down to a lot of other women that we know and we see on the indie scene, either in GCW or whatever indie promotion you follow. It's great to see her be so unselfish and wanting to give, like we say, wanting to give back to the industry, and having all those women there was amazing to see. That beautiful picture that she has of everybody there, including John. Bayley is just a one of a kind, and we love it, and we love to see it. She's similar to Natty. And Natty is one of the, again, another person who is deserving of so many flowers because of what she gives to the industry and back to a lot of the women that have come through WWE over the years.
And honestly, and I just want to see Bayley make fun of Michael Cole a little bit more, because
exactly.
Who doesn't love seeing that?
Michael Cole, you idiot!
You idiot!
Idiot!
Michael Cole,
you idiot!
You
nerd! You know what it kind of reminds me
of? With your stupid glasses.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me when Bayley was on Breaking Ground and she was like agenting the matches for the women on there with Matt Bloom. Like, you could tell she had a knack of it even 10 years ago. It's one of those things with Natty, and I mentioned it with Dan on the last show, but Paul, I got to say, Natty and Maxine Dupree, those vignettes have been killing it every week on Raw, bro.
Oh my God, just seeing them in the dungeon, inside the ring, beating the hell out of each other. Natty beating the hell out of Maxine. And that's good, because now we get to see the build of how Maxine is going to be a ruthless IC champion.
Mhm.
And I want to see it. I want to see it. And dare I say it, I want to see Natty win the Royal Rumble. This is at the point where I'm at now because I want to see Natty win a world title. I really, really want to see Natty become a world champion. Yes,
One
we
more
got
time.
Liv. Yes, we got Raquel. Yes, we got Stephanie Vaquer. Yes, we have all these women that are on Raw. But Natty is one of those people that you want to see succeed, and you know how much she's given to the WWE, and not just WWE, but to wrestling in general. For all the women who have come through, even the ones that are in AEW, even the ones that are in TNA, who have gone through the dungeon with her, and TJ. Again, another person that is deserving of flowers is TJ too, but Natty especially, and Bailey is following suit. So shout out to both of them, man, because they are so deserving of the love.
I will say this, and I know our viewers are going to come for me on this with their pitchforks, but Natty, to me, is the best Hart of the Hart family, period. You know,
yep.
And to borrow a line from MJF, when you look back retrospectively at Bret was mid at best. You know, not saying Bret was bad, because he's not. Bret Hart was in the right place at the right time. If you had Bret Hart from then, of the mid-90s, if you were to transport that person to now, he'd be a mid-carder at best.
It's funny you mentioned Bret Hart and MJF, because in that interview, Bret didn't even know who MJF is. He goes, "That's how much I follow wrestling." It's like, Bret, you had that interaction with MJF and AEW. Oh, he's turned into really, even as he's gotten older, so better. You know, when Ric Flair is telling you to chill, you know it's bad. You know what I'm saying? You know it's bad when Ric Flair is telling you to chill.
He only watches when Bill Goldberg's on TV.
Bill Goldberg?
Bill Goldberg!
God, Bret Hart is just on one these last few times. Have you seen his recent interviews? He's just out to lunch with everything. Oh, he's just bit.
I think you're at this point in your life where you just need to get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get past it. Like if you're ever going to have salvage your legacy in wrestling, you need to get over it. And I get it. He's old. He's
bitter.
He's older and he's bitter, and you know, and it shows. No offense to grumpy old men. Shout out to Walter Matthau
and Jack Lemmon.
But you know what I'm talking about. You know, Walter Matthau's character was pretty much grumpy as fuck, and he was bitter as fuck. And that's just exactly Jack Lemmon was trying his hardest, who was also a grumpy ass old man. I get it, and I love the movie, and you know, shout out to both of them. But man, that's exactly how Bret sounds right now. It's like he's just very, very bitter. It's like, get over it. Accidents happen in the fucking ring. Yes, was it fucking terrible that he did that? Of course it is. Does it change the fact that it happened? Can we push rewind? You have some sort of magic fucking time machine that you can go back and change it? No. Let it fucking go. Hey, Elsa, let it fucking go.
Let it go.
Goldberg has even said, I don't know how many times I can apologize to the guy. He said, I've apologized and apologized and apologized. I'm not apologizing anymore.
I'm waiting for Bill's tweet after that video package tonight. Well, they didn't give me a video package. Shut up, Bill.
You know he's stewing over this.
You know he's pissed. You know he's pissed.
Nobody came up. The whole roster didn't come out for my retirement.
Oh, God.
It also wasn't seen on TV. Now it makes sense as to why it wasn't on NBC and it was on Peacock.
Peacock, yeah, so it doesn't get cut off. Oh boy. But yeah, we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of today's RWT podcast. But before we do, what did you think of the legends that we saw? I mean, we saw Kevin Owens, we saw Elias, we saw Kurt Angle, we saw Trish Stratus, Eve Torres was in the building for John Cena's final match. It's a nice little
Why? Of all the people, why Eve Torres? And I get it. It was
Zack
some
Ryder.
sort of, I think, interaction a long time ago that he had with her. And it was like, why?
Remember the everything. It's Zack Ryder in the wheelchair.
Why again? Back to why Eve Torres?
Well, Zack Ryder in the wheelchair with Hosky.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Again, back to I don't understand why you had Eve Torres out there, but as much as I get it, I guess.
I mean, Elias, they had the infamous rap battle.
I know. What the hell? We even got an Elias sighting.
Yep. That made sense. I mean, WrestleMania, the rap battle back in 2019, like it made sense, sort of, kind of. But yeah, no, you had Kevin Owens there. You had a lot of people there. You Sami Zayn in the front row. Like the messages he got from Kane, he got Tom Brady, Snoop Dogg, Fluffy. He got the Manning and Peyton Manning. Yeah.
Just as an aside, me being a New York Giants fan that I am, seeing Eli make the joke, he said, "You know what? Even though you are a diehard Patriots fan, nobody's perfect." Especially not the I think it was 07 or 09 Patriots.
I died. I laughed. That was great.
Like, I'll say it. Aha!
Aha! We got Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon wishing him, and a lot. Vanessa Hudgens. We got a nice little Vanessa Hudgens.
You got a Vanessa Hudgens sighting up on that thing. Yeah,
I'll say it. I was kind of surprised that one guy, the guy whose name we won't say, didn't put in an appearance tonight because they were in DC.
But that wasn't a recent video. That was actually an older video of
Vince.
Of him. So it we didn't get
Not
Senor.
Vince, that
we didn't
other guy.
The other guy, yeah. Well, he's got bigger fish to fry as of what happened today. So yeah, he can't.
Yep.
He can't.
He's got a bit of a situation going right now.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Oh, you thought Gunther got booed? If he would have been there, he would have got booed out of the building even more. Oh God.
You know what? What really made this, and I'll go to the first three matches.
Okay.
What really made it was the fact that we got some excellent wrestling before we got to the main event. We had some really great matches, and I'm not gonna knock any of them because aside from the finish of the opening match, I thought everything else was excellent. I thought everybody. It was John Cena saying, "You know what? You need to do the present with the future," and that's exactly what happened. Bailey put over Soul. we got the run in by Drew, but man, Oba looked like a star. Oba already looks like a main roster guy, without a
Huge
doubt.
Money,
and he will be a WrestleMania main eventer at some point. And again, we go back to Leon Slater and Javon Evans, what they did against AJ and Dragon Lee. They went out there and they shelled out. We got the little spot. We got to see Joe Hendry. But aside from that, this main event, and before you jumped on, DC, we were talking, actually before we started the show, we were talking about WrestleMania 3. And I was specifically talking about Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Andre was hurt. And if you know that match, that Andre was hurt, what were they doing in that match in particular that made it so boring?
Bear hugs.
It was a bear hug after bear hug after bear hug, and it was like so boring. That's exactly how I kind of saw this match with Gunther and John. Like John would Hulk up, or Hulk Hogan would Hulk up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna, and then You get a boot by Andre, and all of a sudden everything just dies. But that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like John would get, Super Cena, and all of a sudden you get an AA, a pin, and then or a near fall, and then it would be like, now we get back into the damn freaking sleeper hold. And it was just like, my God, is this ever gonna end? And I understand Michael Cole tried to make it sound like as if it was like the most dramatic thing.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was so boring that last fucking 10 minutes.
Oh, the clotheslines reminded me of like how Brock just gave him the Suplex City at WrestlePalooza. It was very reminiscent of that. And I mean, the AAs, the Avalanche AA, the AA through the table. As soon as I saw the steps, I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to get the AA through the table. The fact that he was like, you know what, fuck it, it's my last match. I'm going to do the leg drop off the top rope, which I thought was cool because I always loved that maneuver. But yeah, like you mentioned, like the sleeper hold, him coming out, even not like Hogan used to do the point when he was in the sleeper hold. John did this, like the 5-knuckle shuffles, the AAs, the STFs, taking the power bomb, taking the splash, taking the sleeper. And I got to ask y'all, what did you think of the smile on his face before he did the tap out?
That's right.
It was reminiscent of Brock Lesnar.
I can see that, yes.
You remember the sit up with the Undertaker, and he went
before Undertaker.
but him and the Undertaker were laughing at each other.
Yes.
That's what it was reminiscent of to me.
I mentioned it in our chat. I want to wind it back to when Gunther came out. You could tell he was fighting back tears.
Oh, you could tell he was emotional. He gave Cena the ring even before he came out.
He knew. Like, Gunther, at the end of the day, he's Walter Hahn. He is a fan of the sport and a person who understands the gravity of what tonight was. When you think of the greats of the past, you think of the old generations. You had people like Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. Then the new generation. And Attitude Era. You had Rock. You had Stone Cold. To me, John Cena. You got your Kenny Omegas. You got your Young Bucks. All this and all that. But at the end of the day, John Cena is the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. Like it or not, he is. You had people in AEW who acknowledged that John Cena influenced them.
Samoa Joe did the friggin' salute with the STF on Eddie Kingston.
Which was a really nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell as soon as Gunther came out, like, you could tell, like, he was fighting back tears. Like, because he knew what he was being tasked to do. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to be the guy who's going to have Cena's last match. Like, and by the way, as an aside, I love the shade he threw at Goldberg in that interview with the New York Post.
Yes. I
love it. Like, basically saying, like, John's a little more talented.
That was great. That was so
and
great.
People are saying, well, why didn't Cena win? The old school
We'll get to that. Just before we get to the Cena losing, let's finish with the match. Just go ahead and continue on. Sorry.
It was for what it was okay. Could it have been better? Absolutely. But
I think the one thing that was missing from this thing were all the greatest hits. Because what he did in every single every previous match, he had a greatest hits, and he actually had somebody's move. He did something different from somebody that he had a rival with. You want to know what I would have loved to see? Him to put on the freaking to do the Machka kick to Gunther. I would have loved to have seen him do the camel clutch.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have seen him do fuck the Hulk Hogan. Sorry, I had to do the camel clutch. I mentioned it. So
the yes lock.
Yeah. The yes lock, that probably would have been a hell of a lot better too. Again, back to things I would have loved to see him do the kill switch.
Yep.
Again,
Kohina clutch. Yeah, exactly. So again, I go back to the one thing that was missing for me was a greatest hits portion of this match. We didn't get very much when he lost the match to Dom, which I think probably would have been a hell of a lot better had he tried maybe a frog splash from the top rope. That probably would have sealed. That probably would have got everybody popping. If he would have paid a little bit of a homage to Eddie Guerrero, yeah, that probably would have fucking threw everybody in San Diego over. But that's what I think was missing from this match in particular, where there weren't enough shout outs to a lot of the people that he wrestled previously.
No, I would have paid good money to see Cena do either the GTS or hell, I would have paid a pretty penny to see him do the 619.
Oh yeah, I mean we've seen.
Or even
he did the GTS. He did the GTS to fucking CM Punk. Yeah, but I get what you mean though. But I mean, I said that he should. I would have loved to have seen him do at least the frog splash. If you're gonna do anything from Eddie, I know you're not gonna do the Tres Amigos, but at least do do the fucking frog splash. That probably would have fucking set people out of the fucking building. Probably either laughing.
Have Cena do the pedigree.
Hey,
again, and I had already remember we were having this conversation. I just would have loved to have had seen him do just a little bit more.
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, like I mentioned, we got the leg drop that he hasn't done forever. We got the sleeper hold, which is reminiscent of Jay and Gunther from WrestleMania. But other than that, yeah, like you mentioned with Dominic, like a frog splash would have been nice, or an attempting of the 619. But yeah, no, this for me, like I said, was this match terrible? No. I mean, we've been very critical of the Last Time Is Now tournament. I know a lot of people wanted to see LA Knight get the rub, but it looks like we're going somewhere else with LA Knight. Go ahead, Dan. I see you shaking your head. Go ahead.
You know what? I'll say it now. They are going to make, and I'm telling you right now, they are going to make Gunther the new legend killer.
He should be the one to be Brock in his last match.
He has retired Goldberg. He has retired John Cena.
Whoa. On that note, I knew you were going to mention it. So on that note, Goldberg was already retired. He wanted to come back for one final match. He ended up getting Gunther, who he ended up having the interaction with shortly before the new year or after last year, right?
Yeah, after last year.
Yeah. So he had that interaction with him. I knew you were going to bring it up. Oh my God. And I kept thinking to myself, I said, okay, if he brings it up, I said, you have to say it. Bill Goldberg was already fucking retired. He just wanted one last match to come back and fucking say, hey, guess what? I had a match.
And get put back into retirement.
I'm surprised he didn't kick Gunther's head off.
What a bitch. I'm talking to you, Bill. You fucking bitch.
Fuck the Bill Goldberg.
Fuck the Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg.
Goldberg. If the rumors are true, like if Brock is supposedly done, at SummerSlam, I think Gunther would be perfect.
Me too. Like, have him end his career.
When you talk about the final boss, like everyone, Rock had the gimmick of being the final boss. To me, Gunther reminds me of that old school video game, when you get into a level, and it gets quiet, the music changes, and then you see that unbeatable guy, and you're just thinking like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he's like Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, where you beat everybody.
You do not mention that game. Stop it. I still have trauma from that game.
He couldn't beat King Hippo. That's why. That was his childhood trauma.
I couldn't get to Tyson. I couldn't beat Tyson.
You couldn't beat the Macho Man.
Hell, Mike couldn't get past the first guy.
Wow. Well, no, it's like an NBA baller's phenom when you get the chance.
You couldn't get past Glass Joe.
Glass Joe. Yes. It's like an NBA baller's phenom when you get to Chauncey Billups in the final, and then he whips your ass 30-5 in like a fucking tournament. Good God.
Oh,
but
man.
No,
let's not talk about Chauncey Billups and the shit that he's going through right now. Okay,
Chauncey Billups right here, buddy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dan.
Gunther is the guy. I think the question now is, where do you go with him?
That's a tough one, because unless you're gonna insert him, is he gonna be like Randy and be that certified legend killer to where now you're gonna go after maybe like an AJ Styles and be like, hey, guess what? You're gonna retire. Guess what? I'm gonna retire you. Is he gonna go after Rey Mysterio? Hey, Rey Mysterio, you're almost done. Let me retire you. Which I don't think it should be Rey. I honestly think it should be Dom, and that end of story. And it should be Dom and nobody else. But if you are going to go along those lines, and I'll go with what you guys said, if it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar is going to be that is ending his career, then let it be Gunther. And I don't know exactly how well that'll go off, given that nobody really likes Brock Lesnar. And you can hear it from the last time that he was at SummerSlam. Was it SummerSlam?
Yeah, SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah. You could hear it from the crowd that people were just like, oh, God, he's here. Why are you here?
There was that interview with Cena, and they asked him about it. And he said, I forget the exact words, but it essentially was like, Brock is somebody that he's getting close to the end as well. That, they wanted to create, they wanted to build him back up to be this insurmountable force. So, to me, Gunther's the guy. But here's the problem with that. Brock's going to be a heel. Like, the shit he's done, no one's going to cheer him.
Mm-hmm.
Any goodwill he had with the fans went out the fucking window a couple years ago. Gunther's a heel now. Gunther's been a heel. Do you turn Gunther into the tweener where he's kind of like not heel, not face? I think, what you could, the obvious choice, put him against CM Punk again, do their rematch, this and that, and that's all well and good. But here's what you should do. Have him go up against the Judgment Day. Have Gunther turn face and feud with the Judgment Day. Not just Dom, all of them.
Finn Balor, got to JD, yep. Those would be classics.
I think you could probably run that gauntlet, and then you can exhaust it as much as you can, at least for a few months. But it's like, if you're looking long term and you're looking at what is to come, we already have AJ retiring at the end of next year.
If not before.
If not before next year. He said next 2026 is going to be his final year, which, is fine. I'm okay with. But I think if you're going to give AJ a send-off, then you need to send AJ to TNA.
Yep.
Because that's his stomping grounds. And you need to give him an opportunity to go after that TNA title. You need to give him the opportunity to go after that X Division title, which is one of the first titles that he ever held. And you need to give him a run there. You need to give him at least 3, 4, 5 month run there. And I think that would be out of respect for AJ and give him what he wants. And if he wants to, give him let him go for the TNA title at WrestleMania.
I got an idea. And hear me out. Have AJ Styles win Money in the Bank.
That's not till September.
June or July.
No, they moved it to September.
Did they?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you can easily move it up. But hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Have AJ win Money in the Bank. And everyone's going to think, oh, he's going to cash in on the World Heavyweight title. He's going to cash in on the WWE title. No. You have him cash in on the TNA World Heavyweight title. You have him win the TNA World Heavyweight title.
Have him beat
his last match should occur. 3 words: bound for glory.
Yep, have him beat Kaz if they have Kaz hold it that long. That'd be cool.
And he's not. He's not.
I know.
He's not, but I mean, you give me him and Mike Santana.
Yep.
You give me him and like Leon Slater.
Yep.
As a world champion, because that's who Leon Slater reminds me of.
AJ.
He reminds me a lot of AJ Styles.
Young AJ.
A young AJ Styles. That's who Leon reminds me of. That's somebody I would love to see. Oh, yeah, and if he doesn't win Money in the Bank, how about the Call Your Shot tournament?
Oh yeah,
or the whatever it is, whatever the Call Your Shot gauntlet match or whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever it's called, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I would love for him to win and then cash in on whoever the champion is.
Well,
don't give me this bullshit of fucking Kazarian and Nick Nemeth winning it both at the same time.
Oh God, that was ridiculous. Oh God, we're gonna see where that plays out.
Nikki,
Mikey.
Okay, now on to this. Now, okay, now that we've gotten through all of that, let's get on to the ending of this match.
Oh Lord! So
now, I personally, I want to ask you guys, because now I'm gonna take over the show because now it's my show.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm your new host.
Oh yeah, I am your new host, the Dead Man of RWT, Paul Morales. Of course, these are my co-hosts right here. No, anyways, no. But you get what I'm saying. Okay, so here's my take, and I wanna ask you both this one question.
Okay.
Is it fair for the crowd to react the way they did to John Cena while this is his final match? Was it fair to them to start calling out bullshit, and start booing him?
No.
Michael, you go first.
No, not at all, because this was his call at the end of the day. He's the one who wants to focus on the young talent. If you look at the whole show, he wanted to have the focus of the NXT people versus the main roster people, which is what we got. I don't think that was fair to him. I mean, they started cheering once he did the bows, but for the bullshit call and him looking at him, I gave you all I had. No, I thought it was perfect. It establishes Gunther even more to what we discussed earlier. And John, it doesn't hurt him if he loses in his last match. Now, this is completely different than what we had with Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle. Nobody wanted to see Baron win, and we've discussed this many times on this show. But it made
Baron. You were going to say nobody wanted to see Baron Corbin.
Well, yeah, but that made him even more of a heel. But nobody.
I would rather see Bishop Dyer at this point than Baron Corbin.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Okay, continue. Sorry, my bad.
But no, you're fine. I was saying I thought it was unfair because, again, it's his call. If he wants to go out looking up at the lights and tapping and doing it for Gunther and establishing him even more, God bless him, man. Gunther definitely deserves it. And I thought what John did, like I mentioned, but like we mentioned, without the greatest hits and stuff, like I thought it was fine. It served its purpose, and John got what he wanted. So, I mean, I thought it was very unfair that they chanted bullshit, but then they started to clap for him after he took his bow. So, yeah, I thought it was very unfair.
You know, I won't say it was unfair. I think it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know, I think they probably went to Cena and said, hey, you know, what do you want to do? You know, I would be shocked if they didn't give him the choice. And you think in the past it was accepted that, you know, last match, you go out on your back. You know, how many wrestlers have said it over the years?
I mean, Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, which we mentioned many a times. Even though, yeah.
When you think Undertaker in the Boneyard match, no one knew that was going to be The Undertaker's last match.
No, not at all.
Until that day when Undertaker knew, he's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Up until that point, I think, you know, the old adage was, hey, if you're on your way out, you know, you put over the younger talent.
Look at Mick Foley and Triple H back in No Way Out 2000.
Exactly. Like, even, you know, Royal, which Mike, you and I have talked, I still say they should have had Foley, you know, win the title as Cactus Jack at the Rumble, drop it to Triple H in Hell in a Cell.
Yep. I would have been fine with that.
But that's here nor there. But with this, I think it was insanely disrespectful to say bullshit. Like, this was his last night. You have your opinions, that's fine. Was it the ideal match? No. Was it a terrible match?
No.
It was all right. At the same time, Cena said going into it, he was hurting.
Oh yeah.
I think if you go back and tell me your expectations of what, okay, now you go back to the previous matches that he had. Again, I go back to the greatest hits that he had with trying to give some shout outs to everybody that he's wrestled in his past. Edge, giving the spear for Edge, or giving the spear for Roman Reigns, however which way you want to look at it, giving the GTS, giving the RKO, we'll just say he gave a variety of different things. He did that Styles Clash to AJ Styles. He paid homage to everybody he's pretty much wrestled. So given in this match, do you think he should have done a little bit more of those homages to a lot of the people that he wrestled?
Personally, I would have loved to have seen him hit Gunther with an F5.
Yes. I mean, they were in Washington, D.C. I would have loved to see a Batista bomb.
Or, technically he did hit a power bomb.
This is true, yes.
Maybe Tombstone?
A tombstone, okay. Well, he did that with AJ Styles, and that's what was that, yeah.
Yeah, he did. But okay, go, Michael. Sorry, go.
No, dude, you're fine. I mean, I would have loved a Batista bomb, even though, like Dan mentioned, because they are in Washington, D.C. for Batista. I mean, there's many other people he could have done. Wade Barrett was right there. He could have gave a wasteland or a bull hammer, so to speak. So, I mean, hey, you could have a nice little throw to Wade Barrett. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But I thought we could have got a little bit more is the basis of it.
Maybe a shout out to the Nexus.
Yeah, a little shout out.
Yes, and he gave a shout out to the Nexus. Yeah, exactly. So we could look at it this in a variety of ways. We could look at the way it ended, and we could see the crowd's reaction to saying bullshit. And of course, you saw John's reaction sitting in the ring, and he was very, very disappointed with everybody. Not so much disappointed, but he's hearing everything, but he wants them to understand. I want to put this guy over. I want to put him in a position to succeed. And that's what everybody wanted to do. Even Kurt Angle, we can go back to him and Baron Corbin and say, hey, guess what he did? He tried to put him over, but was this a Vince thing or was this a Kurt thing? Because if it was Vince and Vince was the one that was, dictating everything and said, well, I want you to put this guy over because I have an idea that I want to run with him, but he never did it. Triple H, I believe, has an idea for Gunther, and if it is anything that we said about him retiring guys now, then cool, you got something to go with him on. My thing is that tell me when Triple H came out that crowd didn't let him have it.
Yeah, they did,
and he knew.
And it was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
It was at that moment he knew he fucked up.
It was like when they were hugging and Triple H was just laughing while they're booing him. Like, he knew.
No, Sean was laughing because he heard the people that were behind him. Mm-hmm. Undertaker, of course, was just kind of, kind of like, fuck it. I'm not going to worry about it.
He was Undertaker.
But you could see it was getting to people, and you could see Stephanie's face that she was like, wow, like they're really fucking mad. Like you can hear the people, fuck you, Triple H, fuck you, Triple H, fuck you, Triple H, over and over. I get it. Peacock was trying to censor it, but
and not well.
You're the person on your censor button fucking sucks.
So they needed a few because they couldn't keep up. But another point,
especially when they were going fuck you, Gunther.
You know who else was there that we didn't acknowledge?
Who?
Haku.
Yes,
man, what the hell was up with that?
Fucking Haku. Which again, honestly, He at his age, I still would not want to fuck with that dude.
No, not at all.
Solo.
Why does that
was
man
there.
look like he hit his 50s and doesn't look like he's fucking aging?
No, he looks
Because he
great.
still looks like he did about fucking 10 years ago. And I'm just like, damn, that.
How many wrestlers have said that if they got into a bar fight, he's the one guy?
He said, I only need one. I just need Haku here. That's all we need. We just need him.
That man is 66 years old.
Somebody asked,
how old is he?
66.
God damn.
Somebody
You don't look like he barely look like he hitting 50.
Right.
So 2 different interviews. One, there was an interview where they asked Tama Tonga that, and he's like, I only need one. I just need my dad. And
I only need one guy.
They're like, you sure you don't? And he said, have you seen my dad? Do you know who he is? And then Undertaker said something. Somebody says, he's like, yeah, just give me Haku. I'm good. But
he said I could have had a lot of guys. He said I could have had a lot of guys. He said I could have picked Rodney. He said I could have picked Godfather. He said I could have picked any of the guys. He said, but you want to know who I really want? Haku. He said, because then I don't need nobody else. He said he's just a one-man army by himself. That's it.
The booing to Triple H and the booking, I don't think that is just indicative of tonight. I think that is
hold on a second. Say hi to my wife.
Hi, Paul's wife.
Paul's wife.
I think what this was
These two knuckleheads.
It was more of a referendum on the product at large. It was the people saying, hey, we see what we're seeing, we don't like it.
You don't like it.
You think about Cody, since he got the title back, what has he done with it?
Nothing much.
Fuck all.
But it's like, look at what they're doing with Jade. Look at what they're doing with Jade. And Jade has had that title, and we'll even do the same thing with Stephanie Vaquer. Why was her first opponent Nikki Bella? What the hell has Nikki Bella done?
Nothing. Just
aside from being able to speak
John
Spanish
Cena.
to her.
Oh,
aside from being able to speak Spanish to her. Oh, besides John Cena. You know what? Oh, hold on. Before I go on with that.
Yeah.
Why is it all these video montages? You got everybody to do something except for Nikki Bella.
No Nikki Bella.
Fuck that bitch.
No, I'm with you because like when she's facing facing Nikki Bella, who's all she's done since she's come back is lose, and I don't even know when the last time she won. And now you're going back to Raquel, like, and now you're going,
which is who you should have started with.
Exactly.
And I'll say,
but go for it, Dan.
She's gonna beat Raquel, and they're gonna have Vaquer drop it to Liv Morgan, and you know who Liv Morgan's gonna drop it to? Rhea Ripley.
All comes full circle. But no,
shit is so goddamn fucking predictable that god damn.
Well, you want to know what? I would like to see her lose it to Raquel. Yeah. And here's why.
Go ahead.
Is because it would make Liv envious of Raquel. It would cause that tension within the Judgment Day. And Roxanne would be in the middle of it.
Kind of reminds me of like when Dakota Kai got pissed when Raquel won the NXT Women's Championship. You can have like a Raquel. Yeah,
Thank you. You said it. That's exactly what I was going to go at.
Yeah, it's like Raquel and Dakota Kai all over again. But no, I look at Jade on the other side of the coin. Like the first feud, you could tell it's going to be Michin, which, all right, that's cool. But then I think they're waiting till Bianca comes back and we get Jade and Bianca.
But I think Michin is a good opponent for her.
I agree.
Because I think she can bring out some good in Jade if you allow her to, much like the same way she brought out the best of Chelsea Green. Because Michin is a good worker. And that's another person. That's another person I really, 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 really wish they would let her have the United States women's title.
I agree.
Because she is so fucking deserving of it. She is such a hard worker. Everybody who's
limitless.
there, you already know this, that how many people there love working with her because she's so good.
And as Dan said, she's limitless. I heard that, Daniel. Yes, very much so.
And you know, we should just bask in her glory.
Yes, I agree. So the only other thing we have to mention with the Cena stuff, guys, is the tribute video that was at the end that Triple H produced and everybody did. Beautifully done. The only one thing that they showed of Vince McMahon was from an interview years ago. So we got one Vince McMahon mention and sighting. That was done beautifully, man. I thought that was really good.
I will say, I really expected it to end with induction into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026.
For that when they did that. I was thinking
I was waiting for. I was like, because I'm thinking like, this feels like a WWE Hall of Fame induction video. Like,
yeah,
like to me, you want to send the people home happy. That was your moment
to put him in the Hall of Fame. I know we did the.
Hold on.
Good.
I don't mean to fast forward. I really don't mean to fast forward.
Yep.
But can we go to WrestleMania 43 in fucking Saudi Arabia?
Okay.
No. Hear me out. Because I think when we do another show, I actually have an idea, and it involves Tony Khan. But that's another show. But if they're gonna shell out a bunch of money, and I know it would be very, very disrespectful to do it. But what if their induction ceremony in Saudi Arabia is John Cena?
If you're going to have Stephanie, the big one, this one coming up, I could see definitely John being the headliner for WrestleMania 43. No, you have a good point. I don't want him to be. I don't want it in Saudi, but I definitely can see it being there. And I do this big old ceremony for him.
You know what? I'll bet Saudi probably wants Hulk Hogan to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
God, and he's already in there twice.
What about Bill Goldberg?
Bill Goldberg. But it's one of those.
Don't you remember?
Oh, I got another one.
Brock
Lesnar.
Oh God.
What? They'll pay for it. That's their money.
There was that story. Remember a couple years ago where like there was of who they wanted, for the show, and like everybody they wanted was dead. Like they wanted Hogan versus Warrior.
They wanted like Yokozuna on the card, and it's like Yoko's dead.
He's been dead for 20 years.
20 years. But no, I like your point there. And also, I did like the fact that you said, thank you for letting me serve you for over 20 years before he left. That was a nice salute. But yeah, if you're going to do a Hall of Fame thing, which is what it felt like with that tribute video, I think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because I don't see them doing Stephanie and Cena in the same year. I don't. I can't. I think you have to have Stephanie be the big one for this year. I
think you know what, and I think if you want to do a headliner this year,
yeah,
aside from Stephanie, the only other person I could think of would probably be Batista, because he was the one that was supposed to go in 2020, but we got the pandemic, and it never happened. So I think if you're going to do a ceremony, it being in Vegas, I would love to see him there. Yeah. And I think I would also love if you're going to bring somebody back, Killer Cross in Vegas.
Yes, that'd be cool.
But that's
it
just
would have been kind of cool
had they did it last year.
That picture of the OVW class. There was a table. It was Cena,
Brock,
Batista, Brock, and Orton.
Yeah,
would have been nice to have something tonight of that. I'm sure Triple H could have called up Batista and said, "Hey, can you fly out to DC for the night
and say something to John?
Don't worry, your friend won't be here."
Yes.
You know what? I will say this. I'm waiting for Dave Meltzer to shit all over this, and he's going to.
Of course he's going to. I'm pretty sure it's there. I'm pretty sure right now what I was gonna open before we started the show, and Michael and I were sitting in the queue.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna see what Busted Open had said, because they had went live. Dave LaGreca had went live. I'm pretty sure that would have been a very, very entertaining fucking first 5 minutes of that. I think of you look at how just the match in general. We won't even talk about. Well, we can kind of touch on what John Cena said at the end. What the montage that he got at the end. Him leaving his shoes in the ring, leaving his wristbands in the ring, his armband in the ring. People were yelling at him to leave his jorts.
Which no,
we don't want to see his booty.
Well, I mean, he could have left an extra spare pair of fucking jorts in the damn ring. It would have been cool had he actually had the pumps
and a bump.
Had he wore those instead of the shoes that he had on. But I think that should be in the Hall of Fame. No offense, but I think that should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm waiting for all my shirts to arrive, including this one. One actually, because this one says 16.
And he's a 17.
Even though he is a 17-time world champion.
Let me ask
Look, this is all the way back when he was at the Raw premiere on Netflix. Look, I got this one for this one here in LA. So he was only 16-time then. I should have went all the way to WrestleMania. Could have got the one in Vegas, which made up to be a 17-time. So
let me ask you guys. When all is said and done, what would you say is your favorite Cena match? And I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
ECW One Night Stand 2, John Cena and Rob Van Dam.
That's a good one.
That he went out in one of the most hostile crowds, and like the first 10, 15 minutes was just him fighting with the crowd over his t-shirt.
That's definitely up there.
Like, that took some fucking balls.
You have a second one?
Honestly, you make me think. I can't.
Okay, well you ponder that one, Michael. You go with at least your favorite one, if not top two.
So I was there for Cena and Orton, the first one at SummerSlam 07, which was probably the best match on that card, one of my favorites. But no, that is not my favorite match. If I had to pick two, it's a tie between John Cena and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 23 / the match from Raw, the 55-minute classic in the UK. And the other one I have to pick just because I loved the match at the Rumble, him and Umaga, the last man standing match for the title.
Say it right.
Umaga! So, yes, those two definitely pop into my head. But he's had a lot of great ones. But if I had to pick...
Samoan guy, funny hair.
Funny hair, yes. I'd have to pick the Umaga.
I think you hit on one of mine, and that was literally the 55-minute match, because what made that match was the fact that Shawn brought out something in John that John probably didn't even know. He hit a gear that John probably didn't even know that he had.
Right.
John hit a fifth, sixth, and probably seventh gear that he didn't know he had, and Shawn brought it out of him. And I have to say, and I really, really, probably one of the funniest ones that I have on my list. Yes, One Night Stand is on it. That would probably be number 3, but him and CM Punk for the WWE Championship in Chicago. Punk leaving with the title, the kiss goodbye. That was probably one of my up there at number 2, because that one just proved two things with the hostile environment, similar to One Night Stand. Chicago was not, he didn't come out, he didn't do nothing but walk down the aisle, walk into the ring, didn't even salute nobody, no nothing. Just walked in the ring with his title, held it up, gave it to the ref, stood in the corner, and then just wiggled his shirt, and he gave it to somebody in the front row. Mind you, they didn't throw it back, but they kept it.
You know what it is? I mean, we talk about our memories too, and we mentioned a lot of great matches there. You mentioned One Night Stand 06. I did pop. If you guys check it out in the crowd tonight, there was a sign that said, "If Cena loses, we riot." And I thought that with the irony, and I thought that was so funny just seeing that sign.
Well, you can hear the rioting when it started saying that this was bullshit.
Yep, you did.
The difference is, if Cena had won and, ECW one night stand, those fans would have rioted.
Actually rioted, yes. Ugh.
But I think Rob Van Dam going over made a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, that was like the right call.
And it wasn't the fact that they were going to riot. I got that part, but Rob Van Dam, ECW original, one of the few ECW originals, and John gave him that pop. John gave him that rub, which is kind of coincidental that Rob was there tonight and got to see John. So, I'm happy that he was there, and I'm happy that he gave him his love.
Which is what John Cena deserves, man. I think at the end of the day, the love, the respect, the admiration, the appreciation we've had for 23 years of John Cena is just absolutely insurmountable. And we thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena. Go ahead, Dan.
The last observation I want to make regarding the disrespect of the crowd.
Okay.
Think back to the Raw after Cena turned heel.
Okay.
When he mentioned the crowd and how disrespectful they were over the years. Y'all just proved the man right.
He's in a toxic relationship, yes.
Like,
I agree.
That's the worst part.
It is.
He gave everything. Gunther, who is one of the greatest professional wrestlers, and you disrespect. And you notice one thing, I think it was Michael Cole said it. Tonight, professional wrestling destroyed sports entertainment.
Oh, I heard that. That was very much true.
I remember hearing it, thinking, just sitting back in my chair thinking like, shit. Like,
he's right.
But literally, people, y'all proved Cena right.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want to realize it or not, you did.
You did.
Well, before we get to the ending part of this, shout out to Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena from West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Junior, by the way.
Junior.
We collectively, as fans, we thank you for 23 years. Giving it your all for 23 years. All the wishes that you granted through Make-A-Wish. 17 titles. Grand Slam champion. One of the best humans on this earth. We salute you.
And
Stu, over the years. Stu, salute to you too.
Salute to you too. First of all, the fact that he tried to get Stu to say something. We'll mention this before we end it. The fact he tried to get Stu to say something, Stu's like, no. And then he
said, this is going to be awkward.
Put the camera away from me. I'm looking at the crowd. He's like, Stu, say something. He's like,
no.
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stu was emotional as soon as John came out too.
Yeah.
Much like everybody else. And, shout out to everybody. I shout out to Alex because I was watching her stream a little bit this before it started. I watched Denise and Reggie. I watched Wheezy Blonde. I watched everybody collectively kind of picking their brains to see what they were saying. But shout out to all of them, for being on live stream. I know not everybody could afford to go. Not everybody was going to pay $400 for the nosebleed section of the damn freaking thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dan probably would have, but it wasn't in Buffalo.
Hell, I'm not paying $125 for a fucking SmackDown. Like,
fuck that.
And I think we also need to thank Gunther. A guy who was given an impossible task. You know, whether this had been a 5-star match, a 10-star, whatever, you would have had people that would not have been happy with this match regardless. You know, and he understood the assignment. He went out and did it. You know, and
him going out of the ring and leaving
as
and
soon as it was over,
Yep.
and he beelined, like he was gone. Like, and when everybody came out, you had Solo coming out. You had the bloodline. Everyone that was, you had Tama, you had Tongaloa, you had Hikuleo, JC Mateo. You had all of them. Gunther stayed behind because it was the respectful thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kudos to him. Like, and I keep going back to that image of Gunther coming out, and like you can tell, like he's like, because when he first comes out, he's going, like he's trying to fight it back. Because like, I'm sure in his mind he's thinking like, this is it.
I hope I don't fuck up. I hope I don't mess up. I hope I don't slip. I hope I don't hurt him. I hope at any point in time, this goes according to our plans.
I mean,
you know what? It was a good match. Was it a great match? No. It was what it was. Cena's given us so many years, you know, so many great moments, great promos, and at this time, at this point in his life, John, go enjoy your retirement. You know, go make your movies, spend time with your wife. If anybody has earned the retirement, it's John Cena. You know, there will never be another one like him. Just like when you think of the greatest of all time, you know, your Hogans, your Flairs, your Savages, your, you know, people, your Stings, people like that. You know, people that get into that upper echelon, that icon level, that, you know, that legendary tier. John Cena's among them. You know, your Bruno Sammartinos, like John Cena's on that list. You know, your Undertaker level, like Cena's on that list.
I mean, you also have to give a shout out to CM Punk and Cody Rhodes for putting their belts on him.
That was a really nice touch.
Oh, agreed.
That was probably one of the most respectful things I think I've seen. And I probably since the tribute to Eddie, when John left his in the ring for Eddie, Batista left his on the car for Eddie. And I know that's completely different, but still, you pay respect to the people who mean a lot to you, and especially John. John has a lot of respect from a lot of his peers, and especially both Cody and Phil.
Yep. As he has the respect for all of us, and for that we say thank you, John, and we can see you, and we acknowledge you and salute you, good sir.
Word life.
It's basic thugonomics.
Word life, baby.
That's what I would have liked to have had him kind of come out to a little remix of that, and a little bit of, you know, kind of come out, you know.
Yeah.
But we got. Hey, you know what?
The
beggars can't be choosers.
Point I want to make as a thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, man. Don't worry, man. You're
Stephanie
welcome.
McMahon needs to get some thanks for this, because, you know, there was that tour in Europe where she heard Cena. They were on the bus. She heard Cena rapping to himself, and she encouraged him, do that on TV.
And he did.
Like,
that was when he was dressed like Vanilla Ice on Halloween.
Yep.
And it worked.
That worked.
So for that, we say thank you, Stephanie McMahon. We acknowledge you too, Stephanie McMahon.
The good McMahon.
Oh, not that acknowledged. Okay, sorry, my bad.
So So with that being said, my dear friends, this concludes another edition of the RWT podcast. Win our feels, win our thanks, and we're giving our giving. It is the Christmas season, Derek Nabbit. So, I mean, with that being said, Dan, where can we follow you on the social medias? The floor is yours.
Mike's going to put the link below. We're doing Uncaged at some point in a couple weeks, I think.
After the holidays, yes, sir.
TSK, we just dropped Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, if you know, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, we said it on the show. I'll do it here. I'm getting close to the camera. Here we go. Put out the shows, Mo. Go ahead, Dan.
I did a episode of The Pundit today, talking about AEW games. Rumors of the next one. It can't be much worse than Fight Forever.
Oh God. But yeah, the links will be in the description for Dan and everything he's got going on, as well as the TSK. Paul Morales, where can we follow you on the socials? Go ahead, sir.
Well, of course, you can follow me on X. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on all my social medias. Of course, you could find them all, not only in the links below, but of course, you can go on my X, go into my bio, click on my link tree, which I love when people click on it. And of course, hit any of our socials. Ours are all there. Of course, at some point in time, we are eventually going to do another roundtable with a bunch of knuckleheads, us knuckleheads, whether it's going to be a variety of us or whether it's going to be a new core of us. Either way, we're going to end up doing one, in which case we are going to rewind our predictions for John Cena's final year. And of course, we're going to talk about at some point what we thought of this final 36 dates that he was doing, and then run it back and then see where it's at. You know what I'm saying? So at some point in time, we will end up doing that. Mr. Michael Larkin, my brother from another mother, where can we find you?
We will definitely be doing all of that, folks. Patience is a virtue, and you will definitely see all of our smiling faces doing what we do for each and every one of you. So if you want to follow this channel, it's S&M Network Shows, where you get the RWT podcast. You get the first 5 seasons of Uncaged. You get deep into the heart of wrestling with Nicola McDonald and Robert Davis. You get pop culture. You get the LFC podcast. You get On the Mic with Mike. You get the Stephen Mike show, and you get a whole lot more. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Larkin_92 and MLarkinMB. And if you want to check me out on Twitter, it's at SMShow1 or MCL92. And I got to say, thank you for listening to the RWT podcast. Thank you, Daniel Crimmins. Thank you, Paul Morales. And thank you, John Cena, for all the memories and all the moments. And we, once more, finally salute you. So that concludes the RWT podcast.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. You can't see me. Word frickin' life.
This was basic.
Last time is now, baby.